Are you a golfer whose follow through looks very buckled? Your arms separate, you see a lot of scooping, not a lot of rotation. Well, if so, you obviously know it is incredibly difficult to be consistent, compress the ball from here, and ultimately play good golf. It's going to hurt your game. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So let's break this down just a little bit more. What is actually happening when this movement starts to get into this very narrow position? Well, often it's happening in the downswing. So we will see that golfers will start to early release their angles out. As a byproduct, as they get to impact, their shaft tends to be pretty much dead vertical, so it's extremely hard to compress the ball from here. The elbows would have started to widen, and often we don't see a lot of body rotation. So then from here, it continues on the way through, and we get into this position here, as you can see from the front from this angle here, how there's not a lot of rotation. The left elbow is really buckled away, and the left wrist has started to extend in this position right here. So all in all, it's not an optimal position. So let's start with the number one root cause. What is the number one root cause of this? And it's your arm structure at address. So if we use an example, so we got Tommy Fleetwood right here. Let's take a look at Tommy at address and in this sort of shaft parallel position on the way through. What do you notice about his lead arm? Well, the lead arm is obviously in a very straight position at address, and on the way through, he resembles that with that straight position as well. So how is he setting up his arm in order to achieve this great position? Well, this is something that a lot of the best players in the world are doing. In fact, all of them are doing to some degree. There's obviously some margin for error in this. So here's what they are doing, and then I'm going to show you what most amateurs do. The best players in the world, they hang their left arm pretty much straight down, and it is turned in at a 45-degree angle. So the bicep, the elbow pit, and the forearm bone are in a, let's say, a 45-degree angle right here. So then when they grip the club, they can grip the club weak, they can grip the club strong from this position or neutral, but they are in a position here to where their left arm is set in a really good position. So this sets this position to where then they can slightly rotate it on the way through and generate this beautiful width. Now their trail arm is doing the kind of slight opposite. It's a little bit more under. The bicep here is pointing more towards you, the camera, and you can see the elbow pit here is also pointing more towards you. So both of these two positions are now going to make releasing the club very, very natural. And it's all to do with sort of basic human anatomy and how we want to release the club and how we want to return our arms back to certain positions. Now here's the thing. Most amateurs do the complete opposite. Their right arm is what points in across their body, and their left arm actually gets a little bit buckled. So often most amateurs look like this. And if I turn to this angle, you can see how the right arm is very much dominant on top of the left. So from here, the arms actually want to rotate the other way on the way through. Well, if they do that, you can see how it starts to hike this left elbow out the way. And this is what creates this sort of chicken wing look, this scoopy, narrow look that we don't want to see. Set up to your golf ball and get the club face pointing at where you want the ball to start. Add your shaft lean in and also make sure the face is still pointing where you want the ball to start. Take your left arm, hang it forwards and shake it out. You can see as I do that, it brings my left shoulder forwards. Then turn this in so it points roughly at a 45-degree angle. So you can see bicep, elbow pit, forearm bone, all pointing at a 45-degree angle. Now, from here, let the club fall into the hand and just grip the club from here. So a lot of people think this is going to promote a super, super strong grip. It's not. You can grip it weak, you can grip it strong from here, or neutral, it doesn't really matter. It's just we got to get this arm in the correct position at address. Now from there, take your trail hand, turn it so the palm points away as if you're going to do a bicep curl with your palm to the sky. Then from there, you can see that gets the bicep and elbow pit pointing in front of me. Now bring your hand on and then cover that right thumb, or that left thumb right there with the right palm. So from here now you can see how this position is naturally getting me to want to square the face up, is getting me to want to release the club and generate this beautiful width. And you can see from this angle, so you can see left arm's in a good position, right arm's in a good position. Let me do a little sort of chippy one here and through. Now, if I play that back in slow motion, watch how that left arm, you can see it twisting on the way through. The right arm's twisting as well, but I'm able to get that good width. So next up, we are going to talk about the second phase. Now, like I said, this is a complete guide, so I'm really turning over every stone. And this is the delivery phase. So making sure we're in a good delivery position. Now, if you are in a position to where the club head is outside of your hands, that shaft parallel to the ground in the downswing, you have absolutely zero chance of having any width on the way through. Why? Because if my club head is outside my hands here and I extend my arms, guess what? I'm going to hosel it every single time and I'm going to shank it. So your body scoops the ball and sort of saws the left arm across the body this way in order to just give yourself a chance of making solid contact. So we got to ensure the delivery position is pretty good. Now, here's the thing, there are variances in this. So I'm going to give you a very general position that you can aim for, but just know there are variances in this position. So first and foremost, from the front on view, as we get down to this shaft parallel position, left hand wants to roughly be in line with the edge of the right leg. Number two, from the downline view, we want to see that the hands are roughly on the toe line, as you can see with this red alignment stick. Number three, the club head is level to slightly inside of the hands. And number four is that the club face is anywhere from toe up to slightly down to the ground. Anywhere in those sort of positions there, you're going to be in a good delivery position. And you're going to set yourself up really nicely to then have this great width on the way through, helping you with compression. Now, here's the thing, how do we get to that position? Well, every backswing is slightly different. And it would be ridiculous if I stood here and said, you've got to do this one drill to get you into this point, because we are all going to feel this downswing differently. What I feel is going to be different to what you feel, which is going to be different to every other person watching this video, because our backswing positions are different. So for example, Dustin Johnson, Scotty Scheffler, they have very high hands at the top of the backswing. For them, they have to prioritize keeping their chest a little bit more closed in transition to allow their arms to drop to get them back into this good delivery position. So their hand path tends to be more vertical. It's on a slight diagonal, obviously, because there is some rotation, but it's a lot more vertical than, say, your Hunter Mahan, who gets his hands a lot deeper, who feels like he has more rotation in transition to get his hands back to the same spot. And then you talk to somebody like a Max Homer, who's sort of in the middle ground there, who will have kind of a middle bit. So he'll have some arms coming down, he'll have some chest rotation, hands on the diagonal, getting him into this position. So if you look at your golf swing and you see that your hands are very, very high at the top of the backswing, your swing thought is going to be more, keep your back pointing towards the target for as long as possible in transition as you get your hands down. So you're going to feel like they work straight down. That's the first example. Back to that good delivery position. Second example is you've got a relatively neutral top of backswing. So I term that as the butt end of the grip is somewhere sort of from the front of the ankle to the heel line. You are going to feel a little bit of both, really. You'll feel like your back stays pointing towards the target for a little bit as your arms work down. And again, that's going to get you into a good position, but you're not going to have to exaggerate it anywhere near as much as the first group, which have their hands very vertical. Now, if you're the third group, which is that golfer who gets the butt end of the grip behind the heel line at the top of the backswing, so very flat, you will feel a little bit of arm drop, but you will also feel like your chest is turning into a good position. Now, again, we can go into draws and fades and stuff like that. We're not going to. We're just going to keep it very general like that. And that is going to help you get your club into the best possible delivery position to, again, we can set us up for this amazing release. I'm going to split this next bit, which is from shaft parallel all the way through to kind of shaft parallel and into the follow through, into three categories, because when I'm coaching, I tend to find that there are different reasons as to why people pull. So I'm going to split them into three categories. You might find yourself being in more than one of the categories, but each category is going to come with an explanation and a drill. So then you can sort of mix and match, go which one is best for you depending on what you do. So the first category is what we call body extension and rotation. This is what we talk more about, sort of what the body is doing. Now, I see so many golfers, they get into a position to what I call the saggy knees. So the saggy knees are basically, as you come into impact, you stay low. As you hit, you then sort of drop down even more. You see it all the time on the driving range, it's those saggy knee positions. Now, if we think about it, if I'm doing that, I am staying very low to the ground. So from here, my body is going to want to pull my arms up, even if I'm in a great delivery position, because it simply does not have the space to be able to extend the arms. Because otherwise, if you do, you're going to hit it fat. So what you need to be doing is you need to be pushing up out of the ground as you turn through, and this is going to create the space for you to be able to extend your arms. Now, there is one drill that stands above the rest when it comes to this, and it is the alignment stick drag through drill. So grab your alignment stick and place the golf club just on the ground for now. Now grip this as if it was a golf club, and then bring it so it's in line with your trail toe. Now, as you drag this through, the alignment stick resistance is number one, going to force my body to want to work more upwards. Now, as it does this, I want to have just one simple body cue. And that is, as I drag it through, I want to feel like I squeeze my glutes together. This is one of the best ways of activating your glutes, activating your lower body. It helps you turn, it helps you extend your body, and it helps you push up and out of the ground and get rid of those saggy knees. If you're doing the saggy knees, I guarantee you, you're not activating, you're not squeezing your glutes together. So I'm here, I'm dragging this through, squeezing my glutes, and I can really feel my body extending. From this angle here, you can see if I do this, you see how it gets my pelvis working up, my chest working up, everything working up. And it gives me the space to extend the club on the way through. So now if I do this with a golf club, and again, I go nice and slow, so I'm here. Now I'm gonna feel like I'm pushing up and squeezing the glutes. You can see it gives me the space to be able to extend my arms. So if I now just hit a little, we'll just hit a little 3/4 shot, and I'll play it back in slow motion from this angle so you can really see everything working, you'll be able to see that my legs are pushing up, my glutes are squeezing, which gives me the space to then be able to extend my arms on the way through just like so. And this is a really nice simple swing thaw that you can do out on the golf course. You can do it anywhere, and it's going to massively help you get that push out of the ground, get your body in a great position, and be able to use your legs. Key number 2 when it comes to this release, is sort of the second element of this, is the left arm. Now I see a lot of golfers, they are good at controlling their left arm, but some, they don't get enough what we class as external rotation. Now this tends to be the golfer, so if you're this golfer, please pay attention, that leaves the face open and often hits slices. That tends to be this golfer. And what they often do is as they come through, if you imagine sort of the logo on my glove right here, the logo on my glove might point towards the target at impact, but as it comes through, it sort of continues to point to the sky. So this essentially means that I'm not externally rotating my left arm. Now what we see with every golfer on the planet, doesn't matter if you're a body release or a roll release, we will see some amount of what we class as external rotation of the left arm on the way through. It's what allows us to keep that arm nice and wide. Like I said, some golfers do it more than others, but we will see this external rotation of that arm. Now, if you are a golfer who struggles with squaring the face, slices, and you want to hit more draws, I will bet that you are going to be in a position to where you're going this way because your left arm isn't actually externally rotating enough. So the first thing I want you to do is just do some left arm only drills and just start to feel like you can get the logo of your glove pointing more behind you. And as you do that, you'll start to see, actually, I can generate quite a lot of width quite easily. Now, once you've done that a couple times, then do it with your right hand, and you're going to feel like your right palm now points more behind you as well this way. And again, this is just naturally getting me into a position to where I can get some really nice width to the shot. But we can take it one step further, and we can have a really simple swing for out on the golf course. Now, if I put some images up on the screen, what do you see with all these tour pros? Well, this is looking at this right arm parallel position on the way through. We can see that the club is recocked and it is pointing back at this ball to target line. So if we were to draw a line from the golf ball all the way down to the target, it's re-pointing back at that line. So what I want you to do is hit some shots where you go here and you get into that delivery position and you go through and you feel it point at that slight angle right there. So if I hit a shot for you here, I want you to pay attention to where that club is pointing on the way through as I get to roughly this right arm parallel position. If you're in a position to where it sort of points like this, or it points excessively that way, it means you're not doing this correctly. So as I do this, you can see that that's gotten me into a really nice position. You can see as I go through, that shaft is pointing back at where the ball to target line roughly was. This doesn't have to be a precise science, but roughly was. And that is ensuring that I'm getting enough external rotation. Now, the final one that I'm going to go through is sort of the all-in-one situation. And you are, especially that golfer who, when you do what we've just done in terms of the shaft pointing back at the ball, you tend to find that you overdraw it. This is when you come into this situation here. Because if you are that golfer that when you do this, you overdraw it, chances are you're releasing your loft too early. So this is kind of more focusing on increasing your shaft lean and then having everything work together, just like the other ones were as well. So you can see all three of these have been sort of slightly different in different ways. So this drill is called the open palm drill. This is one of my favorite drills for my game. As you're going to set up to the golf ball like so, nice arm positioning, all of this stuff. I'm doing it just inside for now. Take your right palm, open it up and just press it on the side of the grip. Now, when I do this, I actually like to place my index finger just sort of down the edge of the club there because it gives me something to push on. So as I come through, if I see golfers who are either A, buckling this way, or B, excessively closing the face down as they're trying to square their face, this is a fantastic drill because your feeling is that you're going to be pushing down and forwards on the handle as you turn through. So this helps you get your right shoulder through the shot, helps you deliver shaft lean, so have some angle in the back of the trail wrist, and help you get that width on the way through as you're turning your body through. So let's actually hit a shot for you so you can visually see this in slow motion. So if I set up to this golf ball, I get that open palm feeling right there. And my key feeling is I'm going to be feeling like I'm pushing my right hand kind of towards the target in a sense, help me deliver shaft lean and get all these great things. Then let's just break it down with these slow motions in a second. So here, turn back, turn through. Now what you notice about that, if I play it through in slow motion, you can see that I am really turning on the way through, delivering shaft lean, and it's helping me get that good width. And from the front on view, you can also see that it's helping me deliver shaft lean. So again, this is going to help you sort of blend everything together, get you that good shaft lean, good rotation, good width. Now, if you need more one-to-one help with your game or for online coaching on the Skillist platform, please check out the link. It is down below. And if you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.